Good evening, ladies. Today, we are going to be tier listing all the Spider-Man movies because I am on time with topical things. Spider-Man 2 just came out. I promise, I swear, I'm not getting dementia. I promise you that my Alzheimer's is doing okay. Spider-Man! Original 2001 Spider-Man? Is that 2001 or 2003? I wanted to bet because I said that's probably 2002.
I smell another fun
Reno,
fact.
forgive me for my dementia. It's
Chronic.
that Spider-Man movie, it's one of my favorite movies. Let me just put it that way because, for one, I grew up with it. It was my favorite movie of all time alongside Jurassic Park and I think the Cat in the Hat movie with Michael Myers. Mike Myers, not Michael Myers. That's the wrong guy. They could be the same person. I don't know. They're both pretty horrifying. Tobey Maguire is a great Spider-Man. I like his portrayal of Spider-Man. I love that this movie is not afraid. It doesn't afraid to be a comic book movie. Spider-Man. Green Goblin is fantastic in this movie. He's a great villain overall. I love the visuals of this movie, like the same kind of Sam Raimi stuff you kind of see in the Evil Dead series. I know that some people have gone kind of sour on it because it is dated and everything like that, but I feel like that's part of its charm. Cool stuff. I like it. Epic. It's not the premier Spider-Man movie, so I'll put it in A. But still good shit. Speaking of the premier Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorites as well. Let's put it where it belongs. It goes in S tier just because it is, quite frankly, like the perfect blend of that goofiness. It has a great story to it where Spider-Man is just like, oh, I hate life. I don't want to be Spider-Man anymore. I want to be Peter Parker and go fuck something. I don't know. Admittedly, as a kid, I didn't really quite grasp it, but as somebody that is now more of a bitter adult, I kind of get it. Doc Ock is one of my favorite villains of all time in the Spider-Man series. Every time he's on screen is a fantastic moment, especially that one hospital scene is intense and scary, and actually, like, one of the most incredible, like, comic book movie scenes in general. I love that scene with all my heart. It's fantastic. There's that fantastic scene where Mary Jane's about to get crushed by some rubble, and then Spider-Man goes, so, an S tier for Spider-Man 2. Love it.
Don't stop, never give up. Hold your head high and reach the top.
All right, here's the controversial one. Spider-Man 3. I'm gonna be that guy. I don't get what everyone hates it. I don't think it's a great movie, but I'll still say, like, I feel something when I watch Spider-Man 3. Whether it be secondhand embarrassment, or there's some good emotional moments by the end of it, too. It didn't really need the Venom suit. It didn't really need Venom. It had a really good story going on with the Sandman and New Goblin and everything like that. Nonetheless, I still like Spider-Man 3, and who can forget, you know, the that's what he does. I don't have it in my heart to hate Spider-Man 3 at all, quite frankly. I'd honestly put it in B for now, but I could see some days probably putting it in A even still, because I'd still watch Spider-Man 3 over, like, I know people love Captain America Winter Soldier, but I'd still watch Spider-Man 3 over that, quite frankly. Sue me, I don't care. The Amazing Spider-Man. I don't know. The Amazing Spider-Man is an interesting one for me. I'd just seen that movie for the first time a few months ago. I'd skipped that one originally and just went to The Amazing Spider-Man 2. All things considered, it has a great Peter Parker, has a great Spider-Man, I think, in terms of riz and quips and everything like that. There's just like a disconnect there. I don't know if it's because it's like dark and grungy looking sometimes. I think I do recall this movie having some fantastic looking web slinging scenes. Points up for that, I guess. I'd probably put it at... Do I put it in C? Do I be that guy? Do I put it under Spider-Man 3? I'll probably put it under Spider-Man 3. Amazing Spider-Man 2. How do you rate this one? Because, okay, story first. When I watched this movie when I was like 14, I distinctly remember going out of the theaters and saying, wow, I think that's a 9 out of 10 movie. To this day, because I made such a poor judgment call, I have never given a movie another number rating again because they are so subjective and meaningless that when you hear it's a 9 out of 10 movie, you're probably thinking like it's a cinematic masterpiece. I mean, it is, but for completely different reasons than you probably think. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it just keeps on giving and giving and giving. From Electro's closing the gap between his teeth, the ridiculously awful portrayal of Rhino, the track made by Pharrell Williams, where you got the he hates me, he's something me.
Yep, that's me.
It's really bad. I also don't hate it. I just kind of see this one being at or below. We're just gonna call this Lamau. And we're gonna put you right there. Okay, that one's Far From Home, No Way Home. What's the first? Homecoming. Jesus Christ. I could not remember the name of that one for a minute there. Spider-Man Homecoming, I distinctly remember being like, you know what? This feels like a good refresh of Spider-Man in a way that feels MCU enough, but also like has the spirit of the Spider-Man that I wanted. A lot of his shots and comedy I remember being pretty good in this movie, despite MCU humor being just like, ugh, at this point. Overall, I can say it's a pretty solid entry, and I'd probably put it in the same tier as Spider-Man 3. B, not bad. People are gonna crucify me for that. I think it's just I just don't hate Spider-Man 3. I really don't care. Screw you. I got a good opinion. And from a good Spider-Man movie to a not good Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Far From Home, which is just boring. It feels like you tried to MCU Spider-Man too much. MCU is funny, haha, hee hee. It felt like filler. Mysterio should have been a better villain than he is. Quentin Beck can be a very interesting character when portrayed correctly. And Jake Gyllenhaal is a fantastic actor. The one thing I'll give this movie, it has a great twist ending that I did not see coming. I don't think anybody saw coming. But nonetheless, right, like, I really don't care for this movie. I feel like it's the last one of these I'd ever want to watch again, because even Amazing Spider-Man 2, bad as it is a very fun watch. I don't want to call it garbage, it's not that bad. It's just like, it's just whatever. It exists in this realm of fine, but a little bit below that. So that's why, I mean, hey, it's right there, right? See? Average D, there it goes. Perfect, I'm cool. I know what I'm doing. Spider-Man No Way Home is one of my favorites as well. It takes Tom Holland Spider-Man from being this like generic Spider-Man. There's still like a void there. Like there still needs to be something that completes his character. It takes it from there and elevates it to like, okay, this is a person I actually care about now. There's a lot of emotional weight in this movie. There's a lot of great characters. You got Gobby back, Doc Ock back, even the goofy villains from Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's a lot of good stuff going on here, quite frankly. When I first saw this, I thought it was gonna be a mess because there's just so much going on. But it's one of the few times where that chaos actually helps. And not to mention, with the other two Spider-Men showing up and like helping build Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it felt like such a good idea, especially when you get the fulfillment in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man of being bitter and Tobey Maguire's being like the older, wiser Spider-Man. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. It's a very fun film, it's a very interesting film, and it's honestly one of the more emotional films of the series. I watched it in theaters like a good 2-3 times, since I can't say that for many other MCU movies. You know what? It goes in the S tier, baby. We've arrived, fellas. Venom! Do I just put that in the Lamau tier? Like, I don't know how in our time a Venom movie like this could ever exist. Wow, is this movie just jank, but the most lovable jank on the face of the planet. I love Venom. I love this stupid movie where these stupid jokes just don't hit. The visuals don't hit. If they cast anybody else, this movie would not work, because Tom Hardy taking this super seriously and being as great of an actor as he is, sells this movie. He is so good in this movie.
Sir, no.
I love this movie. I think it's kind of a cop-out to put in Lamau, but like, it's a good time. What can I say? It's fantastic. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I don't know if I can really say anything new. I think I like it more than the original Venom. This one goes even goofier. It's shorter. It's so bad. Yeah, it just like leans into those worst aspects even more, and it's fantastic. I've seen it like 4 times, unapologetically. It is probably my top of Lamau. It is the most easily rewatchable of all of these Lamau movies. I love those Venom movies, and I want Sony to pour it into my mouth even more. Just fill me to the brim with Venom. Dear Lord God, it is so good. Speaking of movies that are also so good, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Can I tell you that this is one of my favorite movies? Because this is one of my favorite movies. Not just in comic book movies, not just as Spider-Man movies, not just in animation, in movies general. It fundamentally changed the way animated movies are made these days. You can see it in movies like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and everything like that. The whole setup, the whole multiverse thing, it was the first to really like hit that kind of theme before everyone else decided to use it and ruin it. Nonetheless, it belongs in S. Fantastic movie all around, one of my favorites. And okay, let me start off by saying this, right? When I heard there was gonna be a sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, I was so worried, because one of my favorite movies of all time could be ruined just like that. Not ruined in its own right, but now it has this thing stapled onto it that you don't want next to it. But Across the Spider-Verse somehow might actually be better. And I think I'm not the only one that shares that opinion. It is an absolutely fantastic movie. I think it has my record of the most times I've seen a movie in theaters. I think I went to go see it 5 times in theaters. Those 2.5 hours fly by so fast because it's so fun, so well paced. Music is great, animation is great, story is great, characters are great. Oh my god, the visuals are insane. If you thought Into the Spider-Verse was crazy, Across the Spider-Verse goes even crazier. Holy god, this is such a good movie. I love it. To be frank, at where we stand right now, probably my favorite Spider-Man. Oh, you probably belong over here too. And that leaves us with one, fellas. Morbius. Okay, Morbius. It's the meme movie. It's the one that everyone went to go see, and it made about $5 in the box office. I saw it in the comfort of my own computer. That poster right there is reminding me of the poster for the Lawnmower Man 2, I think. I honest to God can remember nothing about it. I want to put it in the Lamau tier just for how funny its long-standing joke was, but at the same time, I feel like I remember being distinctly bored of it. You know, you have its morbing time. That's funny. That's audience made though. How much can I really tack onto this movie for being funny? When I look at it in that perspective, it's probably a D. I think most others would put it in Lamau. I think it's actually just a bad movie. I don't think it's all that fun. I think it's just a bad movie. You belong in D, sir. You get a big fat D. And there you have it. There is my Spider-Man tier list. What do you think? Is it right or is it right? I know you think that I am correct because I always am. You cannot debate this. I am the top honcho. I will always be the most top tier creator you ever know, and you should give me money.